Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video lecture, we will cover a new chapter, that is transport in plant. So let's begin with today's video. So what is diffusion? It is a passive taken place in short distance like intercellular space of leaf to outside. It is a random fashion, obviously in gas and liquids, only mean of gaseous transport in plants. Then active transport, special membrane protein needed which are called pumps to perform uphill transport. Then transport rate reaches maximum on saturation. These proteins are also specific and sensitive towards inhibitors. Then for short distance, transportation is done by cytoplasmic streaming, and for long distance it is done by vascular system, that is translocation. Transport, the phloem is multidirectional and in the xylem is unidirectional. Xylem sap, H2O, minerals, organisms, N2, hormones, and phloem sap, waters and sucrose which is alkaline. Then facilitated diffusion, passive, more size of object means less diffusion rate, more solubility in lipids means higher rate. Protein helps in transport of hydrophilic substance and they do not get concentrated gradient. Transport rate reaches maximum when all proteins are used. It's specific and sensitive to inhibitors. Some channels are always open and others can be controlled. Porins are large proteins found in plastids, mitochondria, bacteria, membrane, allowing molecules up to size of smaller proteins. Then plant-water relationship. Water is a limiting factor which affects growth and productivity. It provides a medium which substitute dissolve. Watermelon has 92% water. Herbaceous plants have 10 to 15% of their fresh weight as dry weight. Mature corn plant absorb 3 liter H2O per day and mustard absorb water equal to mass of plant in 5 hours. Then water potential determined by solute potential and pressure potential. High concentration of water means high kinetic energy and thus more water potential. Then pure water has highest water potential, that is 0. Movement of water is from higher to lower water potential. It is measured in Pascal and value for pure water without any pressure is 0. Then osmosis in plant cell vacuolar sap contributes to solute potential. In plant cell, plasma membrane and tonoplast both are responsible for transport. Osmosis is diffusion of water selectively membrane and occurs on the presence of driving force. It depends upon concentration gradient, pressure gradient and movement of water. And movement of water is from high chemical potential to low chemical potential until equilibrium. Osmotic pressure is positive and osmotic potential is negative but are at the same in magnitude. More solute concentration means more osmotic pressure is required. Then plasmolysis. If external solution balances osmotic pressure of cytoplasm, it is said to be isotonic. Further, hypertonic and hypotonic. In hypertonic, first, water moves out from cytoplasm and then from vacuole, due to which protoplasts shrink away from the walls. Then flaccid cell means water flow out in and of the cell is in equilibrium. Then inhibitations, special type of diffusions when water is absorbed by solid collides, causing them to increase in volume. The things which are important for inhibitations to happen are affinity between absorbent and liquid imbibed and water potential gradient. Then long distance transport of water. Water and food are transported by mass or bulk flow. Then diffusion rate is 2.5 seconds per cell if cell is 50 um. Then mass flow is a result of pressure difference between the 2 points which can be achieved either by positive hydrostatic pressure gradient or negative hydrostatic pressure gradient. It is unlike diffusion that different substances move independently on their concentrated gradient. Also xylem transport N2 and hormones while phloem transport inorganic solutes. Then how do plants absorb water? Root hairs absorbs H2O purely by diffusion, and then water come by two pathway: apoplast pathway, then symplasm pathway. Apoplast pathway is the movement of water through the cell membrane in spaced except Casparian strips, does not involve crossing cell membrane, dependent on gradient. Mass flow occur through adhesive and cohesive property of water. Then symplast pathway is a system of interconnected protoplast, slower because water needs to enter cell membrane, aided by cytoplasmic streaming. In hydrilla, leaf movement of chloroplast is due to cytoplasmic streaming. Most of the water moved by apoplast because cortical cells are loosely packed, but ultimately it is symplastic. Then water movement up on a plant is due to root pressure and transpiration pull. Root pressure, water follows its potential gradient and increased pressure in xylem, which is positive, and it is called root pressure. And it can push water up to small heights. On a moisture day, cut a soft stem from base and the droplets oozes due to it. The greatest contribution of the root pressure may be to re-establish the continuous chains of H2O molecules in xylem, which often breaks by tension. Transpiration pull, its rate is 15 meter per hour, then acts in cohesive tension transpiration pull model. 99% of water absorbed is lost in transpiration. Cobalt chloride turns pink on absorbing water. Then transpiration in dorsiventral leaf, there are more stomata on lower side, but in monocot there are equal stomata on both sides. The inner wall of guard cell is thick and elastic, which becomes crescent shape when turgid. The cellulose microfibrils are arranged readily, which helps it to open. Rate of transpiration also depends on number of distribution of stomata, percent of open stomata, water status, and canopy structure. Ascent of sap depends upon the following physical properties of water, that is cohesion, attraction between H2 molecules, adhesion, attraction of H2 molecules in polar surfaces. Third, surface tension. H2 molecules are attracted more in liquid phase than in gaseous phase. These properties give water a high tensile strength, that is an ability to resist pulling force, and high capillarity, that is ability to rise in thin tubes. Then transpiration and photosynthesis is a compromise. Transpiration performs ascent of sap, supplies H2O for photosynthesis, supply minerals, cool leaf surface by 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, keeps cell turgid and maintains shape. Then C4 plant loses half of the water than that of lost by C3 for same amount of CO2 fixed. Then uptake and transport of mineral nutrients. Uptake of mineral ions. Minerals are present as charged particles and their concentration gradient is opposite. It requires active transport, although some travel with H2O passively. Transport proteins of endodermal cell are control points where a plant adjusts the quantity and types of solute that reach xylem. Because of Casparian strips, endorians have the ability to transport actively ions in one direction only. Then translocation of mineral ions. Minerals are uploaded at fine vein endings by different diffusion or active uptake by the cells at apical and lateral meristems. Young leaves, developing flowers, fruits and seeds, storage organs. NPKs are remobilized while calcium is immobile mineral. Much amount of N and small amount of P and S travel in organic forms such as amino acids. Then small exchange of material between phloem and xylem also occur. Then phloem transport flow from source to sink. Then source and sink are reversed depending on seasons. Sugar stored in roots act as a source in early spring. Phloem sap is mainly water and sucrose, but other sugar hormones A are transported or translocated through phloem. Bulk flow is usually achieved by hydrostatic pressure gradient. The pressure flow or mass flow hypothesis. Sucrose is transferred into companion cells and then to sieve tube cells. It creates hypertonic conditions in phloem. Hence, H2O moves into phloem from xylem. The phloem sap moves towards the area of low osmotic potential, that is the sink. Again, active transportation is needed to move sugar out, which will use sugar, converting it into energy, starch, or cellulose. Then water passes out of the phloem. Sugars form cytoplasmic strands after passing from sieve plate. Then girdling experiment. Outer layer of trees is cut to show that food is transported by phloem. So this much was for the video. Hope you liked it and hope it helped you. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, share and comment.